Man, I just took a power nap. Good gracious. It must have been butter pecan flavor because it was incredible. Man, that power nap felt so good. I wish you would. It felt so good. Ooh, man, it felt good. Let me get the ladies in here. Where is for the chat early? I thought I was going to be asleep. Look at China tonight, y'all. She is not playing. She is leaning on him. She's going to need me to put the thing back in the chat. I already know. Because I know. Because I'm the same way. That's how it is. See, that's what we got to come. You know what I'm saying? We late to things. Woo! Let me wake up here. Let me wake up here. How you feeling, China?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
You feeling good?
Yes.
I don't know. I just had that. Never mind.
I thought we were having bad weather here.
There she go. What up, Keish?
Hey everyone, hello.
Y'all all right, ladies? Y'all feeling all right? Hey, holla at these people, y'all.
Had to take a nap, so I'm a little late.
Leon Marie. As y'all can see, I'm just waking up, man. Man, I had a power nap that was from Mars. Oh my goodness, it was good. I mean, it was good. It tasted like butter pecan ice cream. It was good. I'm telling you, it was wonderful. What's up, Mo Retta? Laura White, Fax 100, Edith. Cherylina. What's up, Cherylina? How you doing? What's up, Merle? What's going on, Merle? How you doing? There go Karen, y'all. Karen over there. Karen got the pliers in her hand. She's not playing yet. Kimberly Ortiz, Beth, Mikey, Jennifer, what's up, Stingray? Librarian Christina in the building. Yvette Keena. What's going on? Aqua Loves Garden. Free. Fax 100. See. My main man, Will. Day one Will. That's what we call him. It's that day one Will. Just like Candy in here. Sherry Cole, Charles Harden, Loretta Better. Look at Keisha in the chat. Country girl with grit. Is that you, Kenita? Quita. Ward 1. Go ahead, Quita. Goodness, y'all. Y'all see that? Whose TV is that?
Okay.
Whose TV is? Oh, that's Keisha.
Oh, my bad. You can hear that? Oh, no. Okay. Let me relocate.
Nah, Keisha. We can't hear it. Yes. Come on in here. Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear. What's up, Patrice Bean? Living my best life came through. Good gracious, I'll turn this AC off, man. It is freezing in here. Good gracious. I mean, freezing in this cat. Oh, man. And I'm kind of chunky, you know what I'm saying? So, whew. It was a little warm out here. It was a little parched out here today. So, I said, let me go ahead and turn this AC on at some point. But you don't know when you're going to need AC or the heat. We just don't know right now. What's up, D? Speedy Rider. Liberty. What's up, Liberty? Yeah, Sheila. What's up, Sheila? How you doing? Yes, indeed. And we want to shout out some special guests in here this evening because, good gosh. Boy, I tell you, if loving y'all is wrong, I'm not going to be right. I want to shout out to Nita Joe. What's up, Danita? Also, hey, Ola. Yes, indeed, Connie. Good God. Hey, Connie. Connie make y'all warm and fuzzy. Yes, indeed, good people. It is Friday night. Y'all know what time it is. Me and the demolition crew in here. Put this thing up. Y'all ready? Ladies, how y'all doing?
I'm so ready.
No good. I just had to quickly shut down the house.
I was thinking about Keish. When I put this one up there on the scoreboard.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Wow, what is going on with
Mm-mm-mm.
At the same time? It's buckwheat. My name is Buckwheat. What was that? Hold up. How you doing? Hold up. Am-you-ote. My name is Buckwheat. A narc praise God and abuse you at the same time. In my buck.
Just saying that. Oh my gosh.
I'm done.
I think it's my S. That's what I think it is. My S keeps getting stuck on the computer. That's what it must be.
Oh my God.
Y'all. Oh, my goodness, man.
At the same time. That's what it is.
You doing? My name is Buckwheat.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think that's because no, there's one other S in there. I don't know, maybe S just and I'm not double checking. I'm not double checking. My boss get on me about that all the time. Like, look at you done did it again. And I'm the type of person I defend it. I'm wrong, and I'm gonna defend it wrong.
I should have known something because you had this up like an hour and a half early. So you had time.
And let me get it up early because I'm gonna get this nap in. That nap was.
I didn't even catch it. It's just like my brain just said, "Oh," at the same time. Like, I need to catch it.
Man, I'm telling y'all, that nap was pecan flavored. Good God. It was good. It was good. It was good. Y'all ever been with somebody that could praise God and still be trifling, still be no good, church going, Bible toting and Bible quoting and
Well, be the pastor.
every
Yeah.
every single day, still can bring the heat in the house like it wasn't nothing. Like you wasn't just in church getting on people. You wasn't just in church talking about people. You like, like it's just entertainment to them. It's do it do it with no issues, no qualms, no nothing. Like, you say you was praying to God? You a religious person? You said you believe in God, and at the same time, because I know some of them wasn't preachers, some of them wasn't even religious like that. So you like, hold it. But you said you was a Christian.
Yeah.
You love to bring up, if the Bible has a reference to anything that makes their point, good God, they know how to put you in check about everything, about anything, and make you feel some type of way because they happen to be on the right side sometimes. Every now and then, not all the time, because you're never going to be with a narc that is all this in sync with right. That's just not who they are. That is not who they are. And listen, man, I want to shout out a couple of people this evening. Well, I ain't gonna shout y'all out. I'm gonna just say everything is gonna be good. We got some newcomers that come into the flock, y'all, and they just be watching, and they want to know. They really want to know about rumination. Don't y'all think we beat rumination up for about a year?
Man.
Y'all got this is the end. This is the wide world of the internet. It's new people dropping in on a daily basis, and y'all notice I don't even talk about doing sessions no more because it's a lot. That's a lot of work. That's some real work. If you really gonna help people, that's some real work to put your name, because you basically co-signing something saying I'm gonna be here to help you get through that, and getting through this right here. Getting through this right here.
Yeah.
Look at the chat. Y'all look at the chat and see. I look at the chat and I can see people that been in here for 5 and 6 years that done moved forward. So for me, man, this is the best chat in the wonderful world of it on Beyonce's internet out here.
You're gonna get the whole truth. Like, you're gonna get it from all perspectives, especially a lot of people might say, like, well, nobody's like licensed or everything. Yeah, we have that on this panel. And we have like the biblical point, and then we have the experience point, and with political point. Like, there's so many different angles to addressing this because it affects so many different areas of your life and your mind. And these people are someone had even mentioned, like, a person who can be extremely demonized and can still say the name of Jesus. That is a very powerful demon that operates through that person. That is definitely the Antichrist spirit. And people will sit up here, they actually have the supernatural ability to get a whole church to fight for their wickedness. A whole church will defend, will sit there and ready to pull a gun on you and everything for their wickedness. It's some churches I've been to, they security locked and loaded for that Jezebel. And they don't realize they in a cult. Like, God's, none of that is of God. And so they just a lot of times we got a lot of prison to pastors, and it's nothing, it's like, a lot of people go to jail for a lot of different things, but the ones that I have engaged with, I had 2 prison to pastor narcissistic husband. One was 6 weeks. I don't really claim that, so 1.5, but one that lasted longer than 6 weeks. But that one, they were so wicked. Like I've never, I mean, they will sit there and preach and then come like right off the stage, go somewhere, like if it's just y'all two, and really put hands on you.
Yeah.
The second one, he choked his now fifth wife at the church, choked her in front of the other leaders that
Whoa,
came
whoa,
to
whoa,
address
whoa, whoa. We ain't just gonna walk past that, Keisha. You said wife number 5?
the fifth one.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I was 3 for 6 weeks, but when he had a different name, I
Good.
don't know how that worked with the real ID because he had a different name. I don't know. But
When you get the spouse number 5, listen, y'all, and this, I'm saying this in love. You get the spouse number 5,
yes.
it is you.
And she was there when I was around. Like she was a long time devoted flying monkey, turned spouse, got choked up, and it's like this yeah, this what they have inside of them, they cannot contain it. They want to
Okay.
destroy and unalive people. Like this really that serious.
Hold up,
But you,
because I don't want to skip right past that, because just like I said, just talking to some new people in the chat that don't really understand. It's a lot of people that been in the chat too that don't really grasp that entire concept of someone really wanting to destroy you. Help everybody out tonight, ladies. Help everybody out tonight understand that these people are very, very purpose driven when it comes to destroying you.
yeah, they destroy you because they don't want you to be good for the next person. They want you to sit there and wait for them while they run out and do what they want to do. Because if they can destroy you, that's why they tear you down bit by bit, your self esteem. Everything that they liked about you, they start tearing down
Mm.
because they don't want you to feel like you are that person anymore. So when they leave you, you feel like you can't get nobody, because that's how I felt when that situation. I said, look at me, who gonna want me? That's what I said, because I knew I was not me. I was not myself physically, mentally. These people truly want to destroy you because they see that light in us, and they know once they leave that we can surpass them. And so they want to break us down to the point, and even though they had a head start, because they knew all of this was going to happen before we did, and they had a head start, and we still surpassed them, even if we just make progress healing. And I want to add to what you said, Harry. I know it's hard for you talking to people. I can imagine. I used to talk to people, and people are so set in their ways, and they want these people. There's nothing you could do or say to change their mind. So if y'all notice, it's been a while since I said I'd last talk to anybody, because I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over, and then on the show saying the same thing over and over, and you calling me talking about you did what I said not do. That's what we're not gonna do. You ain't finna keep talking about this, because people want what they want, and sometimes you find out that some of these people be the narcissists, and they
Mhm.
think the other person is. And you
Mm.
got to be careful, because people will mess your name up. That's another reason why I stopped, because I saw it coming.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I kind of talk to people like on a deliverance level, like it's a female deliverance group, but it take about 3 hours to probably get through to somebody when they're trying to like really get set free. They say like I love God and all of this stuff. It take about 3 hours. And even in the workplace, people that's in an abusive situation and they come, it take at least about 3 hours to try to get them to come to an understanding of whatever they're thinking and saying is a false delusion. It's not real. That they are not, that what they're saying about everything is not based in reality. Because what narcissist does, they alternate reality. They live in they in the Lululand. And because they're in the Lululand, what they have done was condition the person they're with to also be in the Lululand and to have these different fragments of reality that they piece together to make their situation okay. when it's not okay. I'm not being abused. He only do that when he get mad. Okay, but he can control it, or she can control it. She can control it when she in front of the fake friends or the only fans. But for some reason, when it's just y'all, like they want to abuse. So this is something that is code and calculated, and coming to grips with this is the type of person that I've engaged with, or that I've married, or that I've been in a relationship with. That is a hard reality for people to face. And as long as the lie to self is still there and still going, then all of that rumination, everything that comes along with the pain will stay put, because the agreement with the lie is still in place.
But you know what, too? A lot of people love being stupid. They love being that favorite dummy. I'm not going to say stupid because people will do anything to keep that person. And I think the strongest tool that keeps a person ruminating and thinking about that person is that triangulation, because people do not want to see their partner go off to somebody else. And that's what keep you ruminating and thinking about that person and keep you stuck where you are. And that's why they use it, because they know that's what's going to keep you stuck. It's the triangulation that got you ruminating. Because if they didn't go off to somebody else, you probably, you know, just do better. You be
Yeah,
like, okay, I know they didn't leave me for nobody. You probably sit there, you're healed. Huh?
Did you say probably?
you
Well,
would.
you will. You
No.
do better in life.
Do y'all know of anyone that did worse after leaving the Narc alone?
My
Anybody?
sister,
Who did
I
worse?
t- yeah, she let herself go. Some people don't come out of that. And she let herself go when she went crazy and just gave up, and that's how she passed away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just crashed out. She was like,
Yeah.
she couldn't believe that this was real. And see, that's another thing that people don't really understand when they watch and they listening to us. They don't understand that a lot of people, unalive themselves because of this right here.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I'm gonna say, especially us men, we develop, excuse me, we develop habits like either drinking, drugs, gambling, something to occupy your mind, because a lot of times we don't want to do and go through those steps that we have to go through. And we've always been taught, well, you got to be a man. That's not really manly if I'm acting a certain way, and it's never bad, especially for us fellas. It's never bad. It's never a down, excuse me, a downplay on who you are as a man, because you have to have a self confession, because you got to sit down and talk to somebody and have a one on one conversation to get your mind back on track. Men, we, man, we so busy trying to look like, oh, I'm all right, I'm good. And we're not good. We're not in a place where we're getting better, because that when you deal with this type of spirit, you're dealing with a professional.
Yeah.
This devil is a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Cheat, thief. You're not going to outwit. You're not going to outfox that fox. And this person, they know you when you're not going to do the work. You're not. Oh yeah, I got you. You ain't going to do the work. You're not going. You're not going to self-reflect. Guys, do y'all know how much power is in taking all of the credit, all of the blame, that of all the craziness you went through with the narc? Do you know how much power is in everything they did? And when you allow that person When you allow that person to receive all that blame, they're getting all the power and they know it. Oh yeah, you blaming me for everything. You blaming me for cheating on you, for lying to you, for doing this to you, for that, making you look bad, for talking down to you and destroying you.
Yeah.
You're giving them power. That's power.
Mm-hmm.
This devil. And I'm telling you, when you want to stop ruminating, when you want to stop that pain, man, the one thing that worked for me, that pulled me out of it, was when I pulled it all away. Man, I'm not giving this devil credit for nothing.
No.
Nothing. No, no. Everything that went wrong, everything that went wrong.
Yeah. And it has to come to that because it's witchcraft. Like when you really think about it,
Ooh,
you're
yeah,
dealing with a whole witch or a whole warlock. And
it is.
so you got the signs of a warlock being in a relationship, and warlock is the male witch. So you got the witch and the warlock, same spirit, Jezebel. The signs of a warlock in a relationship is manipulation and control, deception and secrecy,
Come on.
blame and projection, exploitation, and lack of empathy. That sound exactly like the daggone diagnostic criteria for the narcissist. So you dealing with a warlock. When you're dealing with a warlock or a witch, you dealing with supernatural demonic powers. They casting spells. They doing all of that stuff, making your man ziggity boo. You have brain chemistry changes that happens when people cast spells on you. That whole love bombing crap is a whole ritual spell. They take pieces of your soul, you separate it from God, and at some point they turn you into the witch or the warlock. Because then you will start accusing them. They doing this, they doing that. You just became accuser of the brethren. Anytime you start tapping on Team Satan to collect a couple of his demons to go against the narc, because that's what you have to do. You got to get a little bit of evil to fight this evil. It's like white magic, black,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they want. That's what the enemy uses their bodies for. He sculpted them. He make them, if they a guy, they working out or they doing something, are they extremely nasty, are they extremely spending money, he make them do something extreme to lure the women. If it's a female, they making her build, they making her cook, or they making her have sweet honey words to say in the beginning, or all of these things that'll get somebody's flesh involved, because that's all he can do. Like, he can operate on the soul. So once that emotional hook is there and the witch then cast all the spells, that's it. Now they turn you into the darkness. And then they go after the bloodline. This is all strategic. So the men in a home, what the men have to do, if you approach a witch that had the hat, the little black hat, stirring a little pot and all of that, that's not somebody you gonna date. So you got to look at the person that you connected to just like that, because it's the same spirit. It's the witch,
Yeah.
cat,
Y'all hear
the,
what she
the
said?
cooking in the pot.
Y'all hear what she just said? It's not gonna be the lady with the black hat, with the broom and the big wart on her nose, and no. Same thing I said about the devil. It ain't gonna be somebody around here in a little red jumpsuit, y'all. That ain't how the devil come. The devil come in something that you love. Yes, indeed. Gonna come as somebody that you can help. Do you know that that devil knows that that is our kryptonite? Helping
Yeah.
somebody, helping somebody get their life together. That is our kryptonite. We do, and every last one of us went for it. Every last one of us went for it. We jumped in there and we said, "Oh wow, this person needs some help," and we jumped right in there and said, "Okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do something to help you, and I'm going to make this all right." And guys, ladies and gentlemen, once, man, but you know what, Keith, you said something, and I wanted to interrupt you, but you was on a roll. You was on a roll when
Yeah.
you said, and guys, this is every last one of us. Remember, when you allow yourself to be manipulated and separated from your God, when you allow yourself to separate from God, that's the way the devil has worked his magic on every family he's destroyed, every relationship that he's destroyed, everybody he's destroyed.
Since the garden.
Pull you away from God. That's what he did. Okay,
Yeah.
let me get them away from God. Because once he gets you away from God, then he goes on disconnecting the man. First God, then the man. And then that's it. The woman, after the woman, that's the child. The child is the future.
Yeah.
So
That's who he after. He
that
got he want young blood.
is after the child. Let me break down the entire cycle. Let me separate the man from God. Because once he's done that, okay, the man is out the picture now. The man is out the picture. After that, it's open season. It's
Yeah.
open season. He going right after the child. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to win that one.
No.
Once you have allowed this devil to come between you and your God. And what does that look like, right? Because people want to know, well, what that look like? Because I ain't really that tight with God like that. That's what it looks like. It looked like I ain't that tight with God.
But
That's what
you,
that's what it sounds like. I ain't that tight with God. Because I don't really confess, God. I ain't all religious like that. I'm a little spiritual, I ain't. We lead with what we not with God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you, you
that's the separation I'm talking about right there. So when you can lead with what you're not to God, that separation right there, that's how he got in right there and
but
did
you
everything he wanted.
But you know what, too? It also comes in the form of, for men, big boobs, big butt, pretty face. For women, six figures, tall, dark, and handsome. That
We know
the
that.
devil and witches and warlocks come in those forms too. And also the reason why he's after our children, because he had already entangled us in sin. He like innocence. He
See,
loves stealing our children's innocence. And that's what he's after, is to corrupt everybody's mind, to get everybody to sin. And that was the deal that he made with God a long time ago. And that's just to prove a point that he can steal our innocence and he can take our innocence.
and you know what, China, I'm glad you said that because when we think about, you know, a child and their innocence, let's put the question in the chat real quick. How old do you think children get to nowadays and they're still virgins? What's y'all thoughts on that? I'm gonna put mine in the chat. Y'all can do the same. What y'all think? The age of a
It
child, did boy and girl, how old do y'all think the children are nowadays and they still have their virginity?
Can I add something to that? Because it's with
Yeah.
this internet,
Go
can
ahead.
we say have they virginity as far as they mind and they body? Because they first see it on the internet
Right,
before they interact. The internet is teaching our kids. So which part of their mind, what age are they still a virgin in their mind too?
right.
And I don't have an answer for that.
I would say about 7. But it's such a level of wickedness. But Satan know the law, and he know what happens with Jezebel when people don't repent of that spirit operate, and he know he can use mass destruction with her. And we at a point now, it's so many different types of people or hybrids out here. So guys really have it hard because the ones that have like the perfect physique or the look, the lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, pride of life, that's Satan's go-to. That's the way. That's how he always did. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, pride of life. None of that is spiritual.
Hey,
What we do now, they've been making these people in these artificial.
hold on 1 second. Y'all see the numbers in the chat? I think the oldest person in the chat that we said we think that a person will be still have their virginity was 13. That's the oldest I've seen in the chat. Most people are around 10, 9, 8. That says a lot, y'all. When we
The school will get them at 7, 8. Like when answering Ray's question, the school will get them. They get exposed to a lot of things at school.
Yep.
Yes. In elementary school, in pre-K.
Yeah, because they have it where you sign a disclaimer at school that if your child accidentally go on a porn website or something, that you cannot sue them for your child seeing that. So they even have access to this stuff at school, and you have to sign these waivers because your kids have to be on the computer at some point in school. And that's sad because they should have these sites blocked. If they can lock your kids out of their computers, why can't they lock them off of sites? And I think that's intentional because there's no way in heck that they cannot be locked off these sites. They can restrict that. Because my kid at a young age accidentally got onto one of them sites and they had to notify me of that. So I know it happens.
Listen, I remember one day my youngest he was looking up some tennis shoes at a sporting goods store called Dick's. Y'all know it's one of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't put sporting goods in after that,
yeah,
it's cool. You can be like, what the hell are you looking at?
that's the enemy thing, the World Wide Web. That's what he does. He's inspired everything with the web and the spider in the different ways that the kingdom of darkness move. He is doing it. We just have to get to the point where we are now aware. We understand the kingdom of darkness. They full-fledged got their army. They ready to go. We got to be ready to go. We got to make a whole change in what we thinking. So even with the rumination, we have to get to a point where the narcissist is, we understand they just on team Satan. Like they are the enemy. And there's nothing we can do about that. They made a choice to lie, deceive, cheat, steal, all of that. People who are extremely wicked, they're getting more wicked. And people who God is picking out, they're turning more to God. This is a divine separation happening. And so now that people are coming out of the tunnels and stuff that they got, that they've been making with artificial wounds, they're not all the way human and they don't have people's best interest at heart. Where do you think the cows are going? The cows can actually be an artificial womb that they've been using, and they can make, and they've been harvesting different hybrid people. Same thing they did with the Cabbage Patch stuff. But that's a lot of research that can be done at a different teaching. But this is happening. And so we're at a point where people are going to be exotic looking, but they're going to be extremely 100% evil.
Hey, Keith, it's funny you say little stuff like that in just passing. It's so much out here, y'all. And we just see stuff like, oh no, Cabbage Patch Kids, that was like a little little baby doll. It wasn't.
Right.
Everything we see out here, ladies and gentlemen, ain't none of it innocent, first of all.
That was them Chucky dolls. Now I'm kind of thinking the Cabbage Patch doll might have been the one abusing my sister. That could have been where she was getting the marks from. Now that I know where them Cabbage Patch dolls came from.
Let's get these super chats out the way real quick. Patrice Bean, thanks for that super chat. Patrice got 2 of them in there tonight. Patrice said, Casey said Diddy's eyes turned black.
He's been evil for a long time. They let this stuff go for a long time.
I think I'm the only person that did not know about Diddy. I'm the only person that did not know the type of person he was. I guess that's because I just listened to the music. I never really followed him like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did he have a show, something where he had a pink robe and pink fluffy shoes or bunny shoes or something? Was it Making a Band? It was something he did, a show, and he would come out with a pink robe and a pink bunny shoes. Don't no man dress like that.
No,
That's
man.
other stuff.
No, we do not.
And what you're talking about, Keisha, two of those girls are testifying against him. The Caucasian girl and one black girls. The black girl testified today, and so but I wanted to say this about him too. He's the grand example of a narcissist that think they are above the law and God. Because if you look at other people like Harvey Weinstein, he offed himself because he knew it was too much against him. This man truly in his mind believe he's innocent, and that's why he's fighting this. He truly believed that he's innocent. All these people,
he's gonna say, look, she a freak, I'm a freak. We into some freaky stuff. Which at the end of the day, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you into, that's your business. It is what it is. You know, because that's the world we in. You know what I'm saying? That's the world we in. You know, however, you're not supposed to inflict your will, your level of freakism on other people. If you want to be a freak to yourself, you're free to do that. You know, but when you start bringing other people into it, and you know, before we victimize her all the way, she just said she was all the way in, she was with it. Now, you know, yeah, it's about, you know, she said she was doing stuff because she's trying to please him or whatever. At the end of the day, y'all, let's keep it all the way 100. We are grown. We grown. And when you want something, and I'm saying that's the same way with me. And Diddy said the same thing about a bunch of men that he was doing it with. How he was like, man, I just love. That was one thing that they said about him in the end, because I did not know he really get down with men like that.
And children.
And children. And whoever.
And it comes to a point where we have such a desensitization of abuse and wickedness that because there's a lack of, in America, holiness or any type of integrity, even though he did have a Bible there, that just goes to show, like every time he was in court with a whole Bible, reading it, you know, they know the Bible in and out because they must read it.
Did he was reading the Bible?
Yeah. Satan is a legalist. Okay, he is a legalist. Satan know that Bible inside out, and his followers, they got to know that Bible inside out. People that got rescued from the cult, they'll tell you, we had to read the Bible. They didn't understand it because you have to have a spirit of understanding to understand the Bible. So they might read it, but they don't even know exactly what it's saying to them.
I didn't hear about that part. He was in the courtroom reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm. And his mom came, you know, the narc mom, like that's what they do. They come and they the handlers, okay? They got handlers. Definition of a handler, a whole witch. Like these are Google AI overview definitions of these people.
That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. Yeah. And he obviously was a witch that they like, hey, we can put him in place because he putting somebody like him in place. He's going to follow the script. And he did. He followed it all the way to where he is now. And he basically is just saying, hey, man, you know, yeah, I'm a freak, but she a freak too. Now.
He a whole warlock. He wants to do this. Like,
I was trying to get to the place where, you know, he got the videos and she got the videos of him chasing her down, you know, because she did get to a point where she said, all right, you know what? You rich, but I know, and women, I know women especially have heard like, man, you don't necessarily want to be with this person just because he's rich, because some of them may be some fools. And this is one of those scenarios. She in there because she was like, okay, I'm gonna get down with whatever, you know, we into some freaky stuff. Okay, I like some freaky stuff. And then it turned into, okay, he like to beat you up and all of that stuff too. So that's what she's like, all right, okay, Diddy, man, I was with you on the freaky stuff, but bruh, I ain't no
It's
boxer.
hard to say if she was doing that because the brain is not all the way developed at that young of age. So that's why, like when you're a teenager, you don't think logical the way that adults do. The brain is not all the way
Yeah, that's true.
together to that
That's
extent.
true.
So they're easy to be groomed, and that in itself is the major crime because she doesn't necessarily. You can't really necessarily know exactly what you like if you're programmed in fear. It's like more of a MK mind control programming. Like her programming, she probably had a freak programming in there, and through trauma, they know how to split people. They can split your conscious to where the handler can activate that freakiness with a beat or a sound or whatever, and that'll come out. The core her is not necessarily that. Every now and then a core person probably come through, but with drugs and beats and all of that stuff, the core hurt probably didn't surface until every blue moon because they keep that one sedated. He might not even be living in his core self. This is such a highly strategic demonic type of system that they have in operation that it's too much into the spiritual for a lot of people to really grasp in the natural because it's too much spiritual powers involved. The underworld is involved, the green kingdom's involved. It's so much involved that they really don't have a voice. Like the real her just wasn't there.
Or
The
Mm.
maybe
real
not even just that. Before we get to victim blaming, we do have to understand too that she was with a powerful man and she probably was scared to leave because she didn't want to be deleted. So we don't know the real reasons why she stayed and why she did what she did. But these people definitely know who that they could do this to, which he did it to a bunch of nobodies because J Lo is not coming forward and saying anything, and she was with that man. So we don't know what the
Because,
situation is.
and that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of people don't want all of the things that they participated in out there for the world because they like, hey, I got an image, and if you know what I did, that image like TD Jakes, be like, bruh, let me go ahead and step down because there's some stuff that's about to be said that the congregation is not going to be able to follow. And that's why I'm saying, he is. I'm not victim blaming. I'm not blaming somebody, as far as and I'm not even just talking about her. I'm saying everybody that was around him, and you have men that are around him doing explicit things that unheard of, that they like, hey, I just want this influence. I want to be able to get to the next level. I want to be in the know. I want to be in this clique because they're determining. You're right there with the people who control the machine. The machine that means, hey, your next song is going to be a hit. It's going to be worldwide. You can live for the rest of your life. That's everything that an entertainer is all about. They're like, hey, man, you can get one song and eat off that one song for the rest of your life. If so-and-so, if Diddy over there on the machine, if he allowed a machine to circulate your music. And Diddy, he knew that. He knew he's right there with, the other two people that were over him. And they had control of the entire music industry to be able to say, hey, man, you're going to be a star and you're going to be a star for real. So, yeah, Casey, she could have been in there saying, but, my thing is, if that's where you are, right? If that was the deal, then get on that stand and say that. Look, man, this dude was connected to the machine. I want a song, so I'm doing anything. I'm like, look, man, I done signed myself out here, and this record ain't really spinning too many, and it's because of him. He controls the spins. If he says, hey, man, you do this, and we'll make sure you eat for the rest of your life. And when you doing when if she came out and said, okay, well, that's the reason why I was doing X, Y, and Z, because it's all about the influence, because there are men behind the scenes that have been called out
But
because
they boss is Satan. Diddy got to answer to Satan. So what Satan does, because it goes back to him, he's over the whole industry. He got
come on,
7 different areas,
come on,
but his main goal is to defile the man because that is who, when
yeah,
he looks at a man, he looks at the image of God and he hates him so much that he has to defile the man. And
mm,
then the woman, he know that using the woman is more sensitive to the spirit realm. God made the woman that they're just nurturing, they're just in tune to the spirit realm emotionally, and that's just how he made them.
and
And so
say that
Satan knows that, and Satan uses that. Men are powerful in the spirit realm. He gave men the anointing and the hierarchy to protect. So the ranking, the men has the covering over the woman, but the woman is just a nurturing, sensitive, emotional person. They have to be for children, and that's the role. But that's because of that, Satan is always tapping into that emotion of the woman. He's always coming in a dream or doing that because he know it's harder to get the man to really listen to them in a spirit realm. They're gonna question things. They think a lot of logic. Well, how do you know if this is a spirit or what is this? I'm not receiving that. I'm not believing that. But the woman is gonna be more curious. So that's how he go to. He's been doing that since the days of old. And then the woman gonna get to the man if he can get him to turn. If that man is not covering that woman, he gonna get him. Cause he gonna come, he gonna put all them thoughts. Dad, look how he just did you. He didn't even recognize you today. He didn't even say you look pretty today. He didn't even care nothing about you. That's gonna all be going on as thoughts, as whispering spirits. And then the woman gonna sit there like, dang,
well, look,
something. They gonna get that intuition, like maybe he looking at somebody at work.
mhm,
That's how the enemy operates. And so the man, he has to defile the men. There's been an attack
but that's what he did,
100%.
Keisha. That's what he was doing. He's one particular situation that came up when this started was how he would say after he stripped a man of his manhood, he would tell his people, oh, man, I love watching a man do anything for money. I love a man that'll do anything for money.
And it go back to Sodom and Gomorrah. But Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't just, it was a reason why Elohim came down. So Jesus came down, he was there with the angels, and they was watching Sodom and Gomorrah when Abraham came out and seen them watching. They was there, they was staking out the land. It was more than just perversion happening, homosexuality happening. They had these labs going and they was making these hybrids. Now these hybrids, because they are mixed with demonic entities, they don't Nephilim. People know them as Nephilim. They don't have a sexual orientation. So they go for the men. That's why the men was beating on there trying to, have sex with the angels. That's what they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. But these were starting to be genetically altered beings. That's why he wiped them out. They've been doing this genetically altering of beings multiple times, and they go that way 100% because they're mixed with demonic DNA. So they want to defile a man. So what they do is they convince the humans to also be that way and get them to start taking on that nature. And
And
that's what Hollywood is about.
Keish, that's what, and it starts in the food. Because and I'm saying that because
It does.
you say genetically alter people. I went to public school, so I'm looking at stuff like that. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? We talking about stuff as simple as a lemon. That is genetically altered. That is how they cross two different fruit and it becomes something different. And animals do the same exact thing. And they've started doing the same thing. Well, they've been doing that with humans. That's always been on the table. But we don't get to see it in a simple form. We look at it as, oh man, y'all crazy. Y'all talking crazy. Yeah, yeah. We ain't no daggone man being mixed with no animal out here, and y'all have no clue if you
See,
think.
but they coming out saying all of this stuff now because they have gotten us addicted to these foods and stuff. And they know we're not going to give it up. Just think about how when Burger King used to deny that their meat was mixed with horse until it came out.
Well,
And
no,
that,
Wendy's was kangaroo. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
you say it was what?
Wendy's. Remember, they were saying Wendy's hamburgers was kangaroo meat.
Oh, were they?
What?
They talking
They
about it.
said that.
I'm old school, so that was many years ago. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
But see, these narcissists, like now, they don't really have to go through all. They've already been programmed. A lot of times to get people to be as wicked to where a demonic entity can just take possession of them. It's a lot of rituals that have to happen. A lot of violating of God's laws. DNA start changing because they consistently doing wicked. All of this stuff start happening. They study that now with epigenetics, but DNA do change. And so now, but with the narcissist, they willingly gave that up at a very young age. And so their DNA has already began to change without chemicals, without drugs, without all of this stuff, because they free will chose to continually do some wicked things to become something else other than God's, like what God created man to do, men and women to do. So a lot of times they do a lot of sexual perversion because that and it's extreme because that's
Mhm.
already ingrained in their new DNA. They don't. It's hard to get them to repent because one, they don't take accountability. They always blaming and projecting, and they live in a state of mind that is gone. Like they're completely taken over. A lot of times they might switch in and out, probably get an opportunity to break down and give themselves to God, but then immediately they change and they
Yep.
start teaming with Satan again. They like they might go, they might even cry, they might have a real moment. God really would come to them if
Mhm.
they was more human. God really come to them because he gave salvation to all humans. And they literally will reject God
Yep.
because something inside of them they like when they hurt people. They like when
Because
people are crying.
it
Mm.
requires them to change ways that they're stuck in and that they're used to, and they get gratification and satisfaction out of. Like you said, they
Mm.
get off on people's pain because they don't know how to be happy any other way other than through somebody else's pain. And that's why I always end like that for us, with us in pain, because they need that to move on to the next relationship. And I wanted to say this too about the Bible toting. That was my mother. She would be in church on Sunday doing voodoo on Monday, probably after she got out of church. I mean, my mom had a lady come in, they was doing voodoo. I swear, my brother's nose started pouring blood because she was
Um,
in there, yes, doing voodoo with this lady. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? But yeah, that's where my mother was. She would pray at night, wake up in the morning, raising hell. That's just what they do. They love chaos. They have to have it all day long
mhm.
because that's what brings them some sort of peace.
That is peace to a narcissist, knowing they have created chaos where there was peace.
Mhm.
That is like a reward to one of them to know, yeah, yeah, you had it peaceful over here, but yeah, look at it now, buddy. I came in here and tore the piece to pieces.
Yep.
Mhm.
How they feel.
And they are chaos. They don't like that. That's the name of the demon, literally, that resides in them. One of the main strongholds, chaos. And that's why they use that eros love or eros love that they call it. But that literally means chaos. Because love is agapeo. That's unconditional love. Everything else, all of that other stuff, come from the kingdom of darkness. They dress it up as Cupid or whatever on Valentine's Day, but all of that is still from the kingdom of darkness. So there is no love in the kingdom of darkness. And somebody asked about that movie Sinners. They what they're doing now, because they're getting this army to come up and rise up. They're getting people to participate in the rituals. So when your brain is in a movie theater or at a certain level, it's actively participating in whatever you're watching. They did an experiment on a monkey. And so when God said don't practice certain rituals, like don't do necromancy or don't do sorcery or enchantments and all of that, they put it in a movie for a person to do because Satan want to get people to violate God's laws so he can have legal rights to get these things to jump on people so they can carry them home, so they can, release them in other areas of the world. That's what he's doing. So
Mm,
these beings, like when they go to these portal areas or they go and they participate in these stuff that they have going on here, the magic and the voodoo and the hoodoo and all of that, the beings come through, and then at home lights are flickering or something is going on or a shadow figure go past, because Satan is very strategic and he is not playing. His time is up. This is ending. It is all the way up.
it's a
And
wrap.
he,
It's
And
a
you
it's over. It's done. It's been exposed. Everything has been exposed now.
yeah.
We're just sitting here now, and we sitting here still waiting, still trying to figure it out. But again, the best part of this is, man, oh man, when we get to really discover our connection to God, that is the best part in all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not just being led up to nothingness. We are being led right up to God exposed. That's what's coming. Lawless. Thanks for that super chat, champ. Lawless said, my daughter yesterday was in tears about the toxicity that she witnessed from me and her mother growing up. Wow. I told her all I wanted was peace. And I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to tell you, that was wonderful that you did apologize, because at the end of the day, the child only saw that her life was infected with chaos, and it came from her parents. And regardless, honestly, guys, I think it's like, regardless of who was at fault, the children don't really see that. They see who crazy, they know who crazy, they understand that, but it's still their parent. That it's still their parent. So the way a child looks at it is, I just wanted us to get along. I just wanted us to be peaceful like everybody else, like other kids' house. When I go over their house, their mother and father not fighting and disrespecting each other. And so I think it's important. I think it's important, guys. It's really important to just suck it up. We all going to feel some type of way about it. But again, for me, I'm not giving the narc any credit or any power in the situation. So I told, my children, I've look here, man. I'm apologizing, and I'm taking the fault in that, because at the end of the day, whether I was right or wrong, or whether I thought I was right or wrong, you were ill affected by an act that I participated in. So I'm taking the fault because I participated in it. It's just like them watching a robbery and I was participating in it. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I was there and you saw me and I was participating in that, and it affected you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the power in it. I'm going to take the power in it. I'm going to just say, you know what? I'm going to accept the blame for that, because I knew better. I knew better. And you know what? I knew better, and I should have did better, because I didn't have to participate in it. I didn't have to participate in, somebody, starting these crazy arguments and starting these fights. And I didn't have to participate, but I did. Now,
And it's hard, like growing, like
At the
As
same
a
time, even though I wasn't doing the right thing, but in my mind, I thought that I was defending myself. And I think that's all of us. When you're dealing with a narcissist in your mind, you're defending right. That person isn't standing on something. And guys, let me listen. It's not just in our mind, it's what actually happened. Because, like I've said before, a narcissist is never will a narcissist argue you down about something they are right about because they don't feel like they're going to give us that much respect. They're not going to sit in and argue with you about something they know they're right about. They want to argue with you about something you're right about because the object of the game is sorcery. It's separating you from your real reality, what you
Yep.
saw and what you heard. They want to make it so that those don't connect anymore. Listen, and Keisha, you would know. You're
I'm telling you from a child's perspective,
you
it's
was
a lot different.
and what I'm saying is in your mind, guys, the way our minds work, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell, what you sense, all of them must coordinate together. And this devil, the way this devil works, the way this narcissist works is, hey, I'm here to separate what you see, what you hear, and what you heard, and what you saw, and what you smell, what you taste. I'm here to make you think that none of that, even though you saw it, they're here to change your reality because when they can change
Yeah.
reality, you are totally and utterly confused. And when you're confused, you wide open. You are exactly what they want you to be.
And
You
you
guys
know what? Richard Pryor said it best on one of his stand-ups. He said when he was cheating and he was confronted, he asked, he said, "What you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes?" He said, and
They,
that's exactly
that's exactly. I love this crowd. You gonna believe me or blind eyes?
yeah,
exactly. And I wanted to add to what you said, that could become a double-edged sword too, when you take on responsibility for the toxicity in the relationship, because I've had it turn on me. These kids can use this against you. And I just want to say to Lawless, let your sorry be your sorry and your explanation be your explanation, because children have a tendency of using what you said for blaming you for poor choices in life. And that's what's going on with me and my kids. They can grow up to be toxic or narcissists. And then when they fail in life, they're going to always point to you and say, it's your fault because you allowed this, you allowed that. They're not going to take accountability for their lives because you just admitted to everything that went wrong in their life growing up. And so now they're going to hold you responsible for everything they're doing bad as an adult. So you got to be very, very careful when taking accountability, because that can definitely become a double-edged sword and work against you as well.
Mm.
and they have, and from a child's perspective, what they gonna think if the parent, like say it was a narcissistic mom and like a codependent dad, the dad got fed up or the mom kept cheating, so the dad left. The child is going to think, why did you leave me here with this monster? Like that is what they're going to grow up feeling, because the narcissistic mom is going to treat the child poorly, gonna always say your dad never wanted you and all of that stuff. And that's gonna, be very damaging and affect the child. And then if it's vice versa, a lot of times if the mom was the codependent and the dad was the narcissist, but the mom keep trying to like make a family happen, the child is going to get upset, like, why you keep letting the monster here? So when you thinking like from a child's point of view, you have to always think like they're not entangled in this through lust. They don't have that going on. They are in a form of reality, and what they see is like this nightmare. And these are parents. This is what my life is. I'm hearing them fight, nothing I can do about it. If I'm with the narc is always talking about the other parent. That makes me sad. Like I'm counseling some children that are teenagers, and even though like the father is a narcissist or a sociopath, that's still their dad. But when they're with their dad, the dad trashes the mom, like all of this stuff, and what it does to the children, it makes them pick a side. Either I'm going to be codependent because I don't want to be cold and callous like the narc, or I'm going to be the bully. So I'm going to grow up to be one of those. Both are manipulative. So when you're parenting someone out of this situation, one thing you have to always keep it. First, you got to go to God. This is what happened. We messed up. But you got to minimize how much you really talking about that relationship and stuff, because their brain can't really process it on the level of an adult. Like they're not in it as far as understanding the relationship. It just like one parent is bad mouthing the other parent. And they gonna think, well, which parent got the most control? That's the parent that I need to kind of be more in favor with, because they'll be able to do more things for me. It becomes a matter of survival.
Yeah.
So you have to look at that. Then you have to make sure they're not trying to get away with things like, okay, if I help talk about how bad mom is when I'm with you, then if I'm at your house, then my friends get to come over. You got to always watch out for that type of manipulation, because they were groomed to manipulate in some way for survival.
There you go. And you know what? You're absolutely right. They will start to take advantage of one of the parents. And that's how they learn how to become narcs right
Yep.
there. If they know that all I got to do is speak against this parent right here. Because that's exactly what the narc is doing. That's exactly what the narc is teaching them. Oh,
Mhm.
speak against the other parent. And hey, you win favor here. Now they ain't gonna do nothing for them. Okay, because it's still going to be chaos when they listen. One thing for sure about a narcissistic parent is it's going to stay consistent. They're going to be consistent with the craziness. You are guaranteed that. So what? Y'all saw them take them to the ice cream parlor, or they bought them the new tennis shoes, or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
They are going to be a menace, a nemesis to those children. Those children are not going to be able to get along with that narcissistic parent on a long-term basis. They just won't. A narcissistic parent to children, they don't like children. They don't like their own children.
Yeah.
Some of them are bold enough to say it. Some of them won't say it, but they will show it. They will illustrate. Man, I'm tired. I don't got time for this. I'm not doing that. They will pit that child against the other child. They do all kinds of stuff to make sure those children are raised in chaos, because they're looking at it like, hey, that's what I was raised in, and you ain't no better than me. That's one
Mhm.
of my favorite sayings right there. Treese Bean. Thanks for the super chat, Treese. Treese said, my daughter's narc father had me almost hit rock bottom, alcohol and drugs. My mom saved me, man. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Being in a relationship with somebody
Yeah.
and you don't have good counsel around you, it will lead you in a bad direction, because y'all think about this. It's people out there right now, guys. See, we sit in a position of favor. We sit in a position of favor because we're not sitting here paranoid about who cheating on me tonight and
Oh, Lord.
house at. It's 9, 10 o'clock at night, and where this fool at on a Friday night. We ain't in that situation. But you have people that chime in and just sit back and watch the chat. There's dealing with that tonight. There's dealing with, I don't know where my spouse is, and or my spouse hanging out tonight doing their thing, and I don't know when they coming home, if they're coming home. But I do know if I bother them while they're out, I might not see them this weekend. So you have different people, guys, and y'all know how raw that feeling is
Yeah.
when you just in it and you dealing with it, and you don't know how to deal with it, because that voice inside of you was telling you Yeah, they out cutting up. Yeah, they out with somebody. And you know what they doing. You know what it's leading up to. Yeah, they starting out at the bar, but we know where it's gonna lead to.
They
And
train you to abuse yourself. Like that's just self abuse. Even thinking about them once they done been with somebody else, self abuse. Because why would you want to? And we all have done it. And this is what I had to tell myself. I'm gonna tell you how I had to sit down and I had to get in a mirror and I had to talk to myself the way I would talk to my clients or my patients. Like I literally had to say this. Why would you want to be with someone who has literally show you how much they hate you, and then they have been with somebody else
come
in
on,
somebody else's chemistry, somebody else's fluids, doing all of this with somebody else? Why would you want? And you know what people carry? Not only they sexually transmitted diseases, but they sexually transmitted demons. All of that to come back. You
mm,
know, it's like you have to at some point look. Do you hate yourself that much?
mm,
Because it goes to self-hatred, and then you have to find out, why do you have self-hatred? Is it because of rejection? Is it because of childhood stuff, and you got to deal with that childhood trauma? You got to deal with the narc mom or the narc, if the narc was a dad, you know, the narc parent, one of the parents was doing something, or the grandparents, or one of the parental figures, somebody was a narc. You got to deal with that, and then you got to reverse all of those word curses and things that was spoken to you that you have believed, like not being worthy, not being pretty enough, not being, you know, light enough or thin enough or thick enough if it's the opposite or the other way around. There's always, when a narcissist is grooming or raising a child, they're nitpicking whatever they can find as a flaw. If they can't find nothing else, they'll say you like the same gender. That's what
Yeah.
they, but they always have to be throwing these comments at you, these negativity, this shade at you, so that you will hate yourself. And then you grow up with that, and that's how you end up in an entanglement where you feel like, I'm going to wait on this crap person, because they always full of crap. They always bums in some way, shape, or form,
come on.
to come back to me and deal with me something worse than I've already been through. And
See,
that's the reality of it.
and then, after they throw all these little digs and everything, and then you bring it up, they say, well, I did tell you this. They could tell you something once and say they say it all the time. Do something for you once, say they always do something for you. It's all, I always do this. Just because you did it once, it's I always do this. That's the type of stuff that they say and do. These people are very, very delusional, and they want you to buy it. The way that they word it is to make it where you won't catch it, because they
Mhm.
called you beautiful in the beginning. It's always, oh, I called you this, but you haven't said it lately. That's the thing. You're not looking at it. And then it's, oh, I was just joking. It's always, you too sensitive, or I was just joking. All that, all these people just get on my nerve.
And
And
very calculated, very
yeah,
calculated.
it is.
You too.
The child, one of the kids, the little kids, they dad went to a cruise, right? Totally with somebody with a wedding. At the cruise, probably the person there, the make man, this is the kind of stuff they do. Call. Don't want to have nothing to talk about with the kids. Oh yeah, and da 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 da. Trying to have like a whole conversation. This is how the Lulu they are. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, are you serious? Like, do you not understand? Like, we just breed it. Like you, they got phones, but just to make that other person upset and mad, they're supposed to be on vacation, but yet he wants to call an ex that knowingly that's this, I'm the one they're gonna put out there and say like this was my ex, da 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 da, you know, all of this stuff to get that person triangulated, to get that person always in competition with someone nobody knows about. Like that, you know, you would never know all of these people that be in their life, but somehow they'll know you and really feel like you want that person. And then that just messed up that whole vacation, that whole trip paid for by the codependent, that whole trip, that whole maybe we're going to get married one day. This is how strategic the narc does, knowing good and well that there's nothing to talk about, but they're not going to make that
Mm,
person know that. and
mm.
only to make them cry while
But you
on
know what? Cheating has always been a deal breaker for me because I could never find myself getting jealous of another woman because my mother always put me in competition with my sisters. So she kind of made me numb to the jealousy thing. And so when I caught these situations, I didn't, want to be with that person, or I could just leave because I'm not going to compete with nobody. That I won't do. And I'm not jealous of nobody. I mean, I'm gonna say I did put on weight and stuff like that being in that marriage with him, but he could never get my self-esteem down to the point that I would ever sit and wait for him to come back. That part I just couldn't do. That triangulation do not work on me. It makes me laugh, especially when you see what they left you for. It just be too funny and it's not worth competing for. It's like you didn't do better. Go on. You can have that gone shoe now.
And it be so many. One I went through the phone and all types of. One chick was like, you had the gorilla type. I mean, straight gorilla, but somehow he convinced her like she looked like a certain thing because she, they all got naked pics, and you got the light type, this type. It was even a dude in there. I'm like, oh my god, the stuff that be in they phone. I'm telling you, these people, they are
They down.
demonized for one, but they on a whole different level of perversion.
They are down for whatever. You know what though?
Whatever.
We really, man, we really beat ourselves up, man. I'm gonna say most people, especially to the new people, you're gonna find yourself beating yourself up, trying to figure out what was it. That's gonna be the question that beats you up every single day. What did I do, or what did I not do? What is this other person doing for them? It has turned them on to the point where they can't, get it together. They can't turn it off or whatever. What did they do? What can I do? What? Listen,
Because
y'all.
we think they love the other person. That's the thing. We went to the Lululand. We really think they got feelings like that. They
We
just want to look normal.
them. And you know what? When I ask people that, even to this day. I had a few sessions yesterday, and it was funny to me that wow, because I was like, do y'all watch my old videos? Because I'm gonna ask you this question, because we swear we was so in love with that person, and then when I ask a person, well, what did you love about them? Can you elaborate on that? Well, um, you know that you had his feeling. I said, no, 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 no. What do you love? Can you elaborate on what you love about them so? And when you forced to think about it, you become confused because you're like, well, why I feel like this if I don't love the person?
Because you love the idolatry. You love the self worship that they gave you in the beginning. They worshiped you. So you got self idolatry. That's what everybody got to repent of. The main thing is self idolatry. All of that stuff that they did, the time being spent, the way that you can go off on them and they still gonna be there, and all of that stuff,
Them,
self idolatry.
them, you get to be the superhero in the situation. You get to help somebody, but what did you love about that person? What is it about that person that you love? See, when you're forced in a situation in a tight corner like that, where you gotta actually figure it out, like, okay, the that new marriage, Brittany Renner.
Yeah.
Brittany Renner, or is that her name? Brittany Renner? And she got married to I met that dude in Dubai one time. Was it Kevin Gates?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they asked her, well, what exactly do you love about him so much? And she said something like, um, his heart, his name is like a echo chamber in my heart. And I was like, wow. She really, I was like, wow, he went for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a narcissist too. Come on, that's just two
He
narcissists.
a cold freak too. If he a
It's
freak.
just image. They want to look normal. They go. The reason why they so in church. One, Jezebel is she over the church system. Her assignment is to destroy the family, like the marriage. Got to break that up. Destroy the children. Destroy the church. She goes after the prophets and the prophetess. That is her assignment. So she's very religious. She was a priestess. She, because it's it's a demonic entity. So it's
So you know
but,
what we talking about?
huh?
You know the girl we talking about?
No, I don't.
You saying it like you knew
Yeah,
exactly.
you
Talking about
definitely
the
are.
spirit.
That's exactly what she doing, because she had went from, like, she was telling young girls how to get an NBA player or NFL player, because she has a child by a professional athlete, and she's like, y'all, they stupid. They don't want to use protection, and all you got to do is get when you ovulating, and I mean, she bragged about that. That's how she was running things, but now she's she's a Muslim, and she's
Muslim.
so called she's reformed, and now she got it together, and she just got married to this rapper, and he left his wife. So you already know. And I saw this. I was watching this video because they was asking. They was like, "Well, do you think that she's reformed? Is it a possibility that she got it together?" And one of the guys who asked the question was saying, well, she kind of has to be reformed because she know the spotlight is on her. And I was like, yeah, she know the spotlight on her, but so what? So what? It doesn't matter. You are who you are. And don't get me wrong, beautiful woman. I mean,
Oh, I see what that's witchcraft. He is done. Okay. He's done. The kingdom got him.
You cannot stop being who you are. And she's like, hey, if I gotta get you through this vessel over here, this vehicle over here, I'll get you. And she like, I got you. Your name, his name is in my heart like an echo chamber. I was like, what
Probably
And
she did a whole ritual.
she just literally gave you the blueprint. She was obsessed with him. And that's why she destroyed his marriage. She was obsessed. That's why his name echoed in every chamber of her heart, or whatever she said, which was dumb to me. She couldn't tell you she loved the man. She couldn't tell you why she loved the man. All she know is she was obsessed with destroying what he had and taking him and reducing him down to a crumb of bread, like the Bible says. And that's exactly what she's going to do. She's the covert and he's the overt. And we're going to sit back and watch this play out, because he definitely is going to get destroyed by her. And they doing all this stuff to make his ex-wife jealous. And she's living her best life and she's not even caring. But this is all a tactic, and all while doing it under the guise of being a Muslim. I mean, if that's not making a bigger mockery of God, I don't know what is. Because this lady, she's taking it to that level and she is diabolical.
Yeah.
She is from the Marine Kingdom. Did you look at her? Marine Kingdom. If you want to know how hybrids look at her. That is what he's done. He is done. He's probably, his physical is probably there, but his soul is going somewhere as a slave at night. That's it. They got him and his essence.
That's all. She's able to walk right in because he is saying basically, man, yeah, whatever. I'm with all this freaky stuff. I love how she freaked me out. And that's what the whole situation is all about. And she is going to use that against him because she knows that's his weak spot. That's his.
Done. He's already the Marine Kingdom. When you're dealing with mermaids and sirens and their DNA, that's it. The man is gone. They literally sit there and when they have like people like the girl that wrote the book that was doing that stuff with Shaquille and all of that stuff,
Mhm.
They literally take they life force, they little essence that they put out, that men put out, and they take it down to the kingdom, and the little half snake, half person lady, the hybrid, drinks it and literally says when she does that, they take years off of that person's life. This is so strategic in the kingdom of darkness. The churches ain't talking about it because the narcs have infiltrated the church. But if people knew what they were really in for by being one, human, and two, especially if they're a believer, we are working against a whole systematic operation here. We are at a spiritual war. This is a seed war. The seed of the serpent against the seed of the woman. This is Genesis 3:15. So we are in this battle, but the men are strategically targeted. These people they got these first, second generation hybrids, like they parents or grandparents, somebody a mermaid or a siren, and they have these bodies. And if they don't, they can get the goo and stuff put in the body and take the form of the shape, but it's decaying. That's why it has a stench. It comes from that kingdom. And then they get these men, seduce them and bewitch them and put a spell on their mind. Once your mind is taken with a sorcery spell,
Surrender.
you don't even know why you sitting up there looking at somebody that might look like that in the daytime, but
Mhm.
they looking like Godzilla at night. You won't even know why you feel like this person, but you become so obsessed with this person.
There
They
you
can look like Skeletor, and you be obsessed with this person,
Yep.
and you
go.
don't even know why, because they took your mind through sorcery, and you will want that person so much. That
Man,
is what they do when they do those spells. The spell be make it so this person will never leave me, and they do it. Like the Demonic Kingdom will do it.
you
Now
know,
that person won't have no job. That
listen,
person won't have no money.
that is a powerful spell right there.
Yeah,
When you with somebody, you better be very careful about people that tell you don't leave me. Please never leave me. You better be careful because I've seen it before.
yeah.
That's the person that's gonna leave you. The one that begged you, please just never don't leave me. That person that's gonna be the one that leaves you.
And when they say you won't fight for this, they want you to fight. They want you to stay and
Mm,
fight.
mm,
And
mm.
those are the ones who are going to leave you too.
And think about that though. What does that mean? Fight for this. Why? Why would I have to fight for something that's for me?
Everything in the kingdom of darkness is fighting. God is love. If people had the love of God, because there's loyalty. It literally say you love one, hate the other. That's kingdom of God. You're gonna love God, hate the devil. If you're in the kingdom of darkness, it literally say you're gonna be loyal to one, never said love, and you're gonna despise the other. You're gonna despise people that preach about Jesus or Bibles and all of that. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to hear that. You're gonna despise it because that is written. Is That's how it's going to work. We all abide by divine law. That's it. God spoke it. It is. And so that's
Mm,
what you're dealing with. So they don't. This stuff is so diabolical when you're dealing with warlocks. It's at the level now when they in church, witches and warlocks, when they are spiritual in the spirit realm, doing things unauthorized access because they going to church and they taking you to church and they saying things about God and they using scripture incorrectly, it becomes a spell. So when they doing this, they love to be in church. That's an appearance. It's a front. Jezebel go to church. She like to be in leadership or sing or somebody got to see her, but she will go and she will try to control to destroy lives in church. But
yes,
we get it does a cognitive dissonance because our bodies are designed to worship our creator. So we want that, and then this person presents us that, and then it'll be hard for us to see them as what Satan made them be. And so we get caught up in this fantasy or this delusion that, well, nah, but I'm with a person of God. Like, well, not, but we gonna work this out, or this is the potential. You get caught up in a potential. I seen them crying to God. I seen them in a weak spot. You seen a demon manifested. It wasn't them at all, but that's what we believe. And because we believe these things, because they can, like the title say, you can praise God and be abusive, it's hard to make that connection. Like my ex would literally during deliverance on a call with somebody would be sending me like nasty, very perverted, explicit messages, or sent trying to send pics of himself during deliverance while talking about God. It was even like more of a turn on for him to try to be as defiling as possible while talking and preaching God, and having people really on there like, you're so anointed, you're so this, and you're so that, but
Wow.
saying crazy stuff. And it's like, it's so mind twisting, but that's what the enemy used them for. The pastor I grew up with had the major heroin ring up here in Ohio, on the news and everything. Major ring. It destroyed his whole family, sleeping with everybody, getting the young girls pregnant. The young girl moved with him, and then she had a baby. And then he made her marry somebody in a church. He married them knowing that that was his child. This is how deranged and deluded they are, but still preaching, still like up until he till he recently died. Still was he died as an apostle.
Lying, stealing, cheating, all the way straight to the grave.
Everybody backing him,
Yeah.
even the wife backing him. The wife even let for that position, a false position, because this is something that's only made up in their cult, because other people don't even really know who they are. But this, except the ones he dealing the drugs to, but the wife is supporting the young girl coming to live with them, knowing that that's his baby, and knowing that they put this fake marriage together with another young person, 17, both of them 17, in a church, made that man take responsibility for the pastor's baby. This
Oh
is the kind
wow.
of that happened.
And they love twisting the Bible. I've seen some people where, like I know some of the Bible, and there's certain things people cannot tell me. And their excuse, this is so freaking funny because they'll be like, but there are missing pages in the Bible in Africa, or they'll say there's another Bible. That's not the real Bible because
Yeah,
they're trying to get you to buy what they're saying. And I hate when people do that. It's so annoying, and it's not true.
Oh man.
they always do that. The
Uh,
current ex, he currently they married this young girl a couple weeks later, but got another man's wife that was in the church, this because they're a cult. You got another man that married them and then got them split up and took the wife and made the wife move a couple streets down, trying like messing with everybody. This is what they do. It's like a octopus serpent. Mess with as many people as possible
yeah.
and see everybody come there Sunday and still support you and still back you. And when you say something, you can't talk about God's anointed. That is the devil's anointed. You know,
Hey, that,
Because if they lose members, they lose money. It's about money with the church, and that's what the devil know, that us as humans love most: money and sex. And that's
yeah,
why he used the two to lure us away from God, because those are the only two things that will take us away from God. And a
yeah.
lot of women be in the church praying for their husbands. Their husbands never come to church. Let them go. The church will talk you into keep praying, pray for your husband, do this, do that,
Are
knowing.
you, are
Huh?
you okay?
What?
You okay? Are
What
you,
happened?
are you awake? You need some coffee.
We just taking over, so he like, I'm gonna let him talk.
Are you so you tired?
yeah, when you're on a roll, I like to see that role played out. You know what I'm saying? I like
Brother Doctor the aliens.
to go in and work on that whole thing because yeah, it's people watching and paying attention, and you know everybody. I mean, and y'all can see it in the comments. People when they listening to you, they like, wow, okay, that's where I'm at. I'm on the
Yeah,
same
because I had a pastor. This lady
comment.
stayed in church.
Super chats out the way because
Okay.
we're gonna be all night. Good gracious. Shitty said, I am winning the narc too much, guys. I'm winning the narc too much, guys. When do I stop? I'm winning the narc too much. What is she saying? What is Chitty saying?
Ruminating, maybe
Huh?
thinking about.
She winning. She probably saying she just winning, and she it's so much.
Do I stop? She said, "When
Probably like winning.
you don't stop winning." What do you mean? When do you stop? You don't stop. The winning, we keep winning. All we do is win, no matter what. I don't know, Chitty. Bring a little put a little more on that question right there.
Yeah.
Stop. You don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. There you go. That was a puppy line. Can't stop. What's up, Ray? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ray. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Jennifer, how you doing, Jennifer? Yes, indeed, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Jennifer said the ex-narc has been with the new supply for 6 years. 6 of them. He now wants to reconcile with me. No, thank you. Been there, done it, done with that. Stay strong, family. You know, I appreciate, first of all, Jennifer, I appreciate you getting on here and reminding us, reminding the family that these fools gonna be back, man. I know they was over there for all this time and they was this and that. And last week, who was that? Patrice. Patrice said, dude came and knocked on the door after what, 20 years was it?
Oh, Jesus.
Some years. I can't remember exactly how many it was, but yes, they coming back when you done with it. Where they, we be really be believing they went somewhere and was doing right by somebody. That's the main thing. I'm not gonna let y'all leave out of here believing that mess that the narc went somewhere to treat somebody right. You got to be crazy. Show me one example, just one. Just one example of a narc that went somewhere to do right, to be a good spouse, to uplift, to love, to reciprocate. Just one. That's all.
Especially when the way they left, they weren't a good person when they left.
Come
So
on.
how are they going to be good to somebody else, doing somebody that dirty? It doesn't work like that. And the same way that person got them is the way they're gonna lose them. There's no time frame on it. That person is just subjective to a lot of abuse. Was able to take it for 6 years. And
6 years, that ain't even a long time. Guys, listen. Let me tell you something here this evening. Okay. I was in I don't even know what you call it. I don't even know what I call it at this point. Okay. I'm not gonna call it a marriage. That's for sure. And I was there for 25 years. 25. Okay. Everybody on the outside looking in thought it was a win. Thought I was, man, they thought we was winning. I'm here today to set the story straight for everybody that was fooled by the fake smiles on the pictures, the vacations, the whatever we was doing. It was a lie. I fully participated. I was lying. You hear me? I was lying, pretending that it was something that it was not the entire time. It was not the entire time. No, there was never not one whole year that I could say, man, that was a good year. We had a great year that year. No, there was not one that was there, and it was no abuse. It was no craziness. It was no arguing. Guys, listen. I don't care how long they stayed with somebody.
Yeah.
The only thing that means is that other person going through it.
Yeah.
A narcissist stays with somebody. You hear me? The longer they with somebody else, that's just telling you the level. That's telling you the level of chaos. That's telling you the level of abuse that other person got made up in their mind that they gonna show this narcissist. I can take this, baby. I was made to handle this. I'm gonna show you I can handle everything crazy you can throw at me. I'm going to show you and I'm going to prove to you that I made it through it when nobody else could make it through. All of your lies, all of your deception, all of your deceit, everything foul that you do, I'm going to show you I can handle it. That's what a relationship that looks like with a narc went over and they with that person still 10 years later, 20 years,
Yeah.
20 years later. That's what it means.
All
Because they
that
don't
is,
see nothing better out there.
yeah, I was gonna say that too. And all that is just a show for an audience of one, you. It's just
That's it.
to
Could
make you think
say
that,
please say it again, China.
huh?
Say that again.
All that is just a show for an audience of one, you. That's just to show you that we can do this, that is not as bad as you saying, I'm better than you. This is better
Mhm.
over here. And they going through all types of hell. And nobody's
Ooh,
never gonna say that. They're never gonna post that. Even sometimes if you watch their page get quiet. That's how you know they going through chaos. And then you're being stalked. Both of them are watching your page
come on.
every single time, especially when there's an argument, that other person thinking that they want to come back over there to you when you really don't want them. And some of y'all don't even know they be in that situation that long because you made them stand on their decision. And that's why they over there that long.
Come on.
And you ain't even on the menu. Any of my exes, I'm not on the menu. No matter whatever they say, I am not on the menu. Okay, please don't be triangulated with me, please, because
Look,
I you get that so much. I get like DMs and all of that stuff. Oh, this person, da 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 da. Which one? I mean, shoot, like that was like what 3 or 4 narcs ago. It's like all you have to do is I don't know. I be telling them like you got to go through your therapy, go through your life lessons, and all of that stuff. Because sometimes people really don't feel like it's much better out there, and then some people might have been raised like I was in narcissistic homes where you be like everybody cheat or everybody is like this or this is a norm for everything to be chaotic or whatever. As long as when it's time to have a get together, you get yourself together. We got to go and do this. But that's how it is in those mindsets, and only God can break that. Only God can really heal you, make you whole from traumas and dramas in childhood, and give you a new mind and a new heart, and give you your self-worth that he made you to be, so that you know that you're worthy of love. You're worthy of unconditional love, and what that means and what that is,
come on.
because everything else is destructive. And now that we got all this technology, 6 years is a long time. You have to literally put yourself in the Lulu in order to stay with somebody 6 years nowadays, because that something gonna pop up. You're gonna see something naked in a phone or naked on a computer or some inappropriate stuff because they sloppy with it. The demons want you to know, because that's how they get you locked in the torment. Because that first time that you see a phone number or something like that, now it's everything is fear. It went from being idolized to now you in fear. And fear is trying to keep that relationship going. If I don't do this, if I do this, I'm walking on eggshells, I'm making no man. That's fear. Everything
Yeah,
fear is the opposite of
eggshells.
faith.
Yeah, walking on eggshells. It's always a competition. They put you in a state of competition where you always feel like you're competing with the previous person and you're not seeing that they may possibly move on to something else. And
Mhm.
sometimes they do go back to the old person, but
They do.
sometimes it's something new out there.
Look,
They love a new fantasy, but
listen,
they will.
To drop that child support.
every
They don't come like, hey, you think you can drop that child support now that we friends again, we talking again, we trying to make the family work. It's hard out here for me to still have to pay this little $50 a month child support. That's what they do. Okay, that stuff.
hold up. Now hold up, Keith. That's $50. All right, don't be
It's
talking.
$50. Like,
It
hey,
look, hey, that's $50.
that just costs more than that. Like, if you don't get off of this phone, how
Yeah,
you
Keith,
backed up
I
in the marriage?
remember saying that one time. I remember saying that one time. Excuse me, because you know, my stepson was, I think he was maybe like 16, and his mother going for to get child support at 16. I'm like, well, we don't raise them now. What that $30 a month gonna do? It's gonna pay somebody to feed one of his horses one day? I'm like, are you serious? And he get to come in here and just get to claim credit to everything that I paid for. Are you serious? That's a whole nother topic, y'all. Let me get back on the topic. Rockwell, thanks for the super chat, Rockwell. Rockwell said, of all the chaos my 22-year-old son and 17-year-old daughter saw and heard, they still want to get married and experience a covenant and righteous love. My son threatened to leave home if I didn't get out. So that's serious. And that says, guys, that says again, for everybody that's listening, everybody in the chat, it says and it shows you that, okay, so Rockwell was thinking the same thing that the rest of us think. I'm going to keep this crazy, chaotic, destructive, dysfunctional relationship together just because we got children. We got a home together, we got investments, we got this, we got that. So I'm going to keep it together. That's our mindset. These narcs know that. They know that they can be as nasty as they want. They can defile that entire home the entire time because they already know you fighting. Y'all hear this part? You're going to fight to stay in that chaos.
Yeah. And that's why they love to financially abuse you. Narcissists like that, if you were one that control the finances, you get abused the worst. And I know that for a fact because you know you can't leave and you can't start over because you're starting with nothing, not a dime. And they make sure of that. They move money, they hide money, they got trick money to the side where they tricking off with somebody. It's always something where you can't leave that situation. And that's why they get bold sometimes. And when they get sloppy, they don't care because they know you're not going nowhere because you need them. And that's how it was in my situation. I could not leave. I never caught them cheating until the end, but I could never leave. I could never start over somewhere else because I never had the money to do so. That whole 12 years, I never worked. He was in control of the finances. He didn't want me to work. He always made an excuse for me not to work because of my health condition. Are you sure you want to work? Because what if you get sick? Then what you gonna do? They always take something and use it against you to try to get you to conform to what they want you to do. And that's how it was in my situation. But never, I teach my kids, man or a woman, don't depend on no man. Don't depend on no woman. Have your own because that's going to get you stuck in a situation where you're going to have to take what you've dished out until you could do better.
And in the way it's supposed to be, like once y'all whole and y'all come together, y'all already whole. You know, like the way that the enemy like to do, he like to send premature decoys to offset your whole life and destiny. So he send the person that's that's broken. And with that whole thing, because they carry a spirit of mammon, which is that desire for the money, poverty comes with it. So if you got a business, that's gonna fail. If you got all of these money things, all this stuff lined up, not gonna go through. Like they sabotage spiritually just everything. You can be really up even in your account. That's gonna go negative because this is what they carry. It's inevitable.
They're gonna get you. That's the game plan. They gonna get you.
But you know what? Sometimes things fail because that's God showing you a sign that this person gonna do you in. Because I know that was happening in our situation, and God saw to it that it failed. Because during the divorce process, this man was trying to go for my life insurance and everything. He wanted $250,000 out of that $500,000. He was going for it all. Had that girl on his side fighting. So sometimes God allowed for those situations not to go through.
Not sometimes. Yeah, every time God will allow that situation to play out because we had to have it. You know, Lord, come on now. We and I mean, can you bless me to help get this person to get it on track, help them get it together? And God's just sitting back saying,
Nope.
I didn't make that person the way they are. They chose to be the way they are. And they're choosing to have a free will. So I'm gonna let them have their free will. I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna let you deal with their free will. So that when I start to tap them on their them hind parts, and you see that person going through, you will remember what that person did to you and just back away and say, oh, you know what? Let me let go and let God. I'm going to let God handle that. Because when I tried to handle it, you know,
Yeah.
y'all know the rest. Shawnee, thanks for the super chat, Shawnee. Shawnee said, trust in God, y'all. I had to interview today. Ex-narc apply for a government job that requires a top secret security clearance. Oh, the story I had to tell. They don't win. So yeah, that's the problem. That's the Department of Defense or the Department of Energy. I remember I had one of those, and they go to your old addresses. They looking for NARS. They like, hey, we gonna find out because we going to your next door neighbors, the ones you get along with. Yeah, that's the one we looking for. Yes, indeed. And guys, again, man, at the end of the day, a narc is gonna get what they got coming to them every time. Every time. The same way with us.
Yeah.
All going to get what we are supposed to get. Nobody gets to skip the line. Nobody gets to push a button and say, hey, you know what? I don't like how things went in this life. I'm gonna go ahead and push the button and start over again. That's not how this works. No, everything that you do, you're either going to you're going to get a reward for it. Now, whether that reward is good or bad, that's determined on you, what you did. But everything, guys, every single thing we do, the way we live, the way we treat people, everything in our life, man, you're gonna see that stuff. The same people you've heard this on your whole life. Same people you see going up that ladder, you're gonna see them when you're going back down that ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So you gotta treat people with respect. You gotta treat people the same way that you would like to be treated. If you'd like to be treated, with abuse and lies and deception, then then be a narcissist.
Yep. And you got to get out of the position of caring about their world. They are in a whole different world, a whole different kingdom. Like when you really wake up, you'll understand you wasn't even cut out for them anyway. Whoever they ended up with, they probably more equally yoked with them. That all of that stuff is just chaos, destruction, decay, all of it is just wickedness. It's nothing good comes out of it. And so you don't want to pray prayers like, I can't wait, because people do that. Oh, God, get him, like he gonna get what he get and all of that stuff, or she gonna get what she got. And you don't want to have those kind of thoughts. You want to ask God to help you see what you have to learn in this, because something was going on. And you got to take accountability for that. Because once you take accountability, you'll understand, okay, I'm reaping what I sow. There's a consequence. So if I was into if I had some self-idolatry or had some rejection or something there that God wanted to purify, and I was not listening to God, I cut him off for myself. I compromised. Okay, well, he got to get compromised out like he had to do with Job. Job was righteous and did everything. Like he was all of that, and Satan still went. And they was like, well, why would he do that to Job and everything? Job had self-righteousness. Job was still compromised. And he didn't find it out. And because he was coming at God, like, God, you need to speak to me. So God was like, who are you, man, to question me? Where was you? And when God showed his power and how mighty he was and who he really was, Job was like, wow, I was so undone because coming out of this, you really get to meet the power of God when He rescued you. And
Oh,
when you see how wonderful He is, you
oh,
realize, dang, I probably was faking church too. Because I was going to church all the time, but I had a religious spirit. I had a way of doing things. But I will always get really, really close to God and do things, works, as far as like if I'm reading my Bible, I'm doing good. If I'm praying, I'm doing good. No, that relationship had to be there. I had to trust God with all my life, like all my plans. I was a plan A, plan B, C, D person. You
oh,
know, He took all of that was stripped away after the narcissist and He became provider. So now I know Him different and I know how His power moved different in the spirit realm. But
Mhm.
I didn't know that before. So sometimes when we take that responsibility, like we were wrong, we picked totally wrong based on our insecurities, based on what we seen on the outside. Okay, we're gonna take accountability and we're gonna let God clean it up this time. We're gonna forgive them, release them, and move on, not going backwards, not trying to rescue them and pull them up out the pit because they want to be there. We gotta move on. And once we start doing that, then a whole different us will be there. We'll experience different kind of life.
yeah, yeah.
And don't take what they say as far as being a pastor. Hario can be a pastor. I mean, this is kind of the stuff that people do when they a pastor. They gather that God gives them a way to
Mm.
gather people and break things down in a matter of fact way, and people get healed.
I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna be the kind of pastor to say, hey, look here, y'all. Lord, you're gonna have to forgive me because I'm gonna cuss sometime. I'm gonna do some heathen stuff. I'm gonna be a heathen, but we are, it's gonna be a certain level that we not gonna go to. Okay, there it is. Okay, it's gonna be heathenistic to some degree. Cause yes, Lord. Shawnee, Shawnee said, I had to tell how he was physically assaulted by the person that he cheated on me with. They asked me about his character. Oh, I couldn't say anything good. Oh, well, I mean,
Like,
at the end of the day, it is what it is. They ask the questions, and this is the kind of stuff that comes back, people. This is the kind of stuff that comes back and that's all they're really looking for. They're looking for the person who that you ill affected. They like, okay, well, if you're a good person, they're like, okay, well, let's go to your old addresses and find out, you know, if your neighbors, because I remember my neighbors coming back to me and saying, hey, some people came over here from the government and they was, and it was scary, like, you all right? And I was like, no, everything's good. And they're looking for where you, and that's why you usually get a top secret security clearance when you're very young.
oh yeah.
Because by the time you turn 40, life doesn't turn up a little bit.
Yeah.
Indeed, yes, indeed, but it happens. Hey, y'all, it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience in here with y'all this evening. We learned some things. We got to know some people a little better, some parts of ourselves a little better. Ladies, y'all know what we about to do. Yeah, give them something good to put on the can. We're gonna give them something good to end the week on. Give them something positive and motivational. Feel it in their toes, make them feel it in their feet. Y'all see these ladies up here? Okay, your ear got to be in your foot not to see these ladies sing right here, y'all.
I just want to leave people with
Let them have it.
don't be deceived by the illusion. Okay, the narcissists are illusionists. They're witches and warlocks. I cannot express that enough. Just imagine them with the black hat, like for the women, and then with the men, imagine them with the little cape and doing their little wizard things. That's what they are in their true nature form, and they want to be that way. And a lot of times people get criticized a lot. It's a lot of things, even on YouTube or whatever. And they're like, oh, you don't want to judge nobody. God loves everybody. You got to pray for them. Yes, pray for them. Pray they have mercy and move on. You can't sit here and entangle yourself with wickedness based on some of the scriptures. Yeah, he do say pray for your enemies. And yeah, you are just pray for mercy. and God helped them send them somebody. But what we didn't do was just that. We entangled ourselves with them. We tried to become baby Jesuses and rescue them ourselves, and then that's how we got whipped by the devil. So you can't. You gotta really use wisdom in that. He tell us all the time, do not mingle with the wicked. Like, what fellowship has light with darkness? He tell us, come out from amongst us, be ye separate. He tell us bad company corrupt good character. So you can be good and all of that and going to church and doing this, but once you connect and yoke yourself with the devil, now you have went into idolatry. It's very subtle and it's very easy to do. Fine line between walking in God and walking in divination, making things happen for your own interest because this person make you feel good, this person make you look good. Y'all gonna build this false dream together. That is selling your soul to the devil.
Mm.
And you got nothing is worth that. It said, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose their soul? The new person probably got the narcissist, especially if y'all was married, they're losing their soul, especially if it's adultery, losing their soul. And especially that's a horrible deal to get the narcissist for your soul. That's the worst deal ever. That's like that Kanye West was saying, made a deal with the devil. It was a crappy deal for a few toys and a happy meal. He said it's a crappy deal. Any deal with the devil is a crappy deal. So there's no words to say to them. The first wife called and said, hey, the ex called and asked, like, if he give me some money, can I drop the $91,000 child support rearage? That's what they do. They'll call and reach out for that stuff. But then, even to entertain them and not have no contact, you still got work to do. Because when snakes are calling, it's never to be in the best interest of anybody other than their slick self, because they want to continue to do evil deeds without consequences. And so it's not a good idea to ever really talk to them for a long period, and definitely not accept the transaction as if you're a prostitute, because that's how they think anyway. They think if I throw a few dollars, this person will do whatever I say. If I say, hey, let me come over and I'll pay your light bill, or let me come over and I'll do this for you. They're so transactional. They view everything like prostitution because they're being pimped by the devil. They're in prostitution. They're the devil's prostitute. And so them even being with other people and all of that, it's nothing to be said about, because the devil is a horrible pimp. He worse than them. No offense, them Chicago pimps, because I seen them. They got a whole thing going on in Chicago, especially that South Side where my Aunt Ann was at. I seen them pimps, but the devil is worse than them pimps. Okay, at least them pimps, they take they people, they workers, they take them to the little pimp ball and stuff. Satan don't do that. He don't do that at all. He destroys them from the inside out, and then he discards them. So you want to pray for them, have mercy, especially if you got children. Don't engage with them. Don't go for the false scriptures. All my exes is in church except maybe one or two. I think they want to be like they made up their own religion. Most of them in church though, and reading scripture, work for the church or the pastors. Most of them are doing that. Still evil, still extremely wicked, got worse. But they are just picking out as many people as possible to take out with them, because that's what Satan is pimping them to do. And they want to hurt people. They want to destroy people. They get a pleasure out of it. There was brain studies done. They actually have climaxes when they hurt and destroy people.
Yeah.
It's like somebody who get pleasure when they have a climax. They have a climax from the pain. That's why they're very sadistic. They want to do things after they hurt you, because it's even more gratifying, because they know they just did the most devastating thing that you can do to a person. But they will take you out. They love to choke. They love to do all of these horrible, horrific things because they have a sick, demented, demonized mind. And so don't fall into the illusions. Just understand, dealing with a witch and a warlock. That's all. On a yellow brick road.
I like that. I'm liking that.
Well, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. If you guys want to stop ruminating about these people, understand this. These people didn't love you. You were just an accolade. We didn't love them. We were in lust. And that's all we had to offer each other. We mistaken lust for love because in the beginning, all they offer us is sex. And that's what we fall in love with. We fall in love with words and sex. So if you want to stop the ruminating, understand that. And also, you get in the gym, get a hobby, do something. That's what I'm doing. I haven't gotten in the gym. I'm at home working out and I'm losing weight. I lost what 10 pounds in 7 days because I know how to eat. When I a mind is a powerful thing. When you put your mind to something, you can do it. And that's one thing I love about me is once I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. And so I just want you guys to just find something, find your niche in life. That's how you stop ruminating. The next time you guys see me, I will be sworn into office, which is on Monday. So yes, I will.
Yes.
And that's why I'm losing this weight to get into this dress I ordered that's coming tomorrow. And so like I said, a mind is a powerful thing. And I never saw myself here. I never saw this for me. You'd
Man,
be surprised what you end up in life, what you end up being if you just try something. I
mm,
mean, if you just love yourself enough to just dabble. I mean, people, you know how when you go to college and you say, man, I want to take time off from school because you're not sure what you want to do. And that's what life is, no guarantee. Dabble in things, see what sticks. I dabbled in this and I said, no, this is just something I'm just gonna be going to meetings. I never saw myself being in the office, being a political figure. And as more that I want to do with my life. And now that just boosts me to do more and more. And I want to encourage you guys to do that. Find something, get in the gym, eat healthy. You'll be surprised how much better not only will your mind feel, your body will feel it too when you lose that weight and you eat right. Because I was having issues with my blood pressure again, but put my mind to it, it's back normal again. Life is getting better for me. And so I just want to encourage you guys to do that. Don't make these people your everything. Because if they become your everything, you'll die with nothing.
Yeah.
I like that, y'all. Go ahead. Rock on. We got celebrity in here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Said she gonna be on in celebrities. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. She ain't forget about the little people, you know?
Never.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, let me say, let me start out up in here. Let me start out up in here. Hold up. Okay. I ain't forgetting nothing. I'm just making sure I ain't leaving nothing out.
But while you doing that, I want to ask Keisha, did you get your card
Which card?
that we sent the people who donated?
I probably did. I gotta check. I'm trying. I gotta check my mail. I'm gonna tell you, I'm very bad for checking the mail. It's like once every two
Just like
weeks.
me. Keisha just like me. I'm telling y'all, man. Keisha with me. Good girl. I'm the same way. He asked me about something. What are you
I'm
talking
like, today.
You're like, huh? Who? Well, I'm gonna say this, guys. Before we get out of here. It is so many levels to this. So many levels to this, y'all. We, y'all know we've been doing this a little about 2 years, about a year and a half, almost 2 years, and it's always impromptu
Mhm.
because when you're talking about a subject like this, if I'm giving you a title to just kind of start the conversation because there you're not going to have 2 days that are alike with this fool, with this devil. You're just not. It's gonna be to hell in a handbasket daily. You're gonna be trying to figure it out. You're gonna be pulling your hair out. You're gonna be turning gray. You're gonna be worrying yourself inside out, your heart palpitations, high blood pressure, all kinds of craziness happening. That's when you know. That's how you know. Your body's telling you, man, look, this person not only is not good for us as far as a relationship, but now they're starting to we're starting to have physical problems and ailments that they are attaching to us by that is attaching to ourselves because we refuse to listen to what our inside is telling us.
Yeah.
We just like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray that God change this. I'm gonna pray that God make this right. We gonna go to counseling. We gonna go to a professor. We gonna go to the pastor. We gonna go to our parents. We gonna go to somebody that tell me what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Looking until you find what you want to hear. And guys, that's one of our biggest problems. That's one of our biggest problems. We will find a way to stay in turmoil, chaos, foolishness, foolery, just because we want to hear what we want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to hear what we need to hear. We don't want to hear that. No, no, no. Tell me the good part again. Tell me that part when you love me and you love everything about me, and I made you feel so good, and I did this and I do that for you. And tell me that part again. I like that part of the story because we love that stuff. Listen here, y'all. I am a cold sucker for chivalry. Okay, you tell me something. Oh, you what? Yes, I love it. I love hearing that. Yes, I'm what? Oh, you the man. You this. You that. I love hearing that. Now, I do realize that people are gonna lie to you. People lie to me all the time. I know it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I like hearing it, but I ain't about to change my life for it. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna change my life because you lie good. Okay, I did that before, and it didn't work out good at all. People, be real with yourself. Be solid with you. As long as you are solid with yourself, you ain't ever gonna be lonely a day in your life. Be good to you. You know, we were told that in this day, people would be lovers of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so how do I receive that? Can I not love myself? No. And that's not even the context that I believe that was written in. That's written in the context of, you being obnoxious about yourself. You being abrasive. Oh, I'm doing this for me because it's all about me and me.
Yeah.
No, that's not self-care. That's not self-love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Self-love and self-care, ladies and gentlemen, it starts with you just telling yourself the truth. Do you know that the truth will make you free? Did y'all know that? The truth will make you free. Did you know if you told yourself, wow, that fool told me they love me and called me every dirty trifling name I ever heard, that don't sound like love to me. That ain't how God treat me. And God love me. See, because that's how love's supposed to feel. Like that love that you express between you and God. All of it's supposed to feel the same way. And when you see that it ain't going in that direction, trust what you see. That's why God gave us eyes. That's why He created eyes and ears and a mouth and skin.
Mhm.
Everything you have it for a reason. It helps you to make sense out of everything. And when it ain't making sense, ladies and gentlemen, stop fighting it.
Yeah.
Stop fighting it. We fighting to stay in something that is abusive, that is toxic, that is less than you.
Yeah.
You fighting to stay with somebody for real that ain't even on your level.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that to say they not really on your level. You just saying basically you just went and picked somebody up off the street. And I'm gonna dust them off and I'm gonna fix them. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this one. This one gonna be mine. No, it's not. They as soon as you fix them up, as soon as you fix them up, they already in with somebody else before you even finish fixing them. You're not gonna correct nobody out here. The person that is for you, they looking for you. They are out here looking for. They out here in the look like I say my man Aaron the plumber said. They out here with a flashlight in the daytime, looking for you. Okay, they want to be with you just as bad as you want to be. Y'all, they looking for you. But we be determined. Oh no! I don't want to be with the one that's gonna do right. The one that's gonna treat me with love, honor, and respect and obey. Oh, yeah. You don't even. No, I don't want to be with that. I want to fix this one. The one that cuss at me every day. The one that want to fight me all the time. The one that want to steal from me. The one that's cheating on me with one of my family members.
Mm.
Yeah, when I wanted with that one. How toxic we have become. Yes, when you're around a narcissist, you instantly become just as toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as crazy, perverted mentally.
Yeah.
We want to fix somebody like that. We want to fix the person that's bringing us the most pain. Hey, this is the one. This is the one right here. I'm in pain beyond anything. I've never felt pain like this before. And I want to fix this person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that's bringing me all this pain, all this chaos, all of this craziness in my life. I want to fix that one. Yes. Why? Why don't we want to just be with somebody who got some sense? Why don't we just want to be with somebody that actually love you, man?
Nobody can answer that question. You know that, right?
Say what?
Nobody can answer that question. Like nobody can answer that. They'll ask you.
Why are we so determined? We gonna go against the grain. We gonna go against what's right. I don't want what I need. I want what I want.
Real.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just leave y'all with this. And I know this going in a little left, but just trust me on this one. The truth is gonna make you free. Okay? The truth is gonna make you free. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop trying to force yourself to believe you're gonna fix Ray Ray or you're gonna whoever, whichever, however, you lying to yourself. You ain't fixing that. Okay? They got bottled up craziness that been in them their whole life, and you ain't fixing it. Okay? You're not. You're gonna be over there just as crazy as they are trying to figure it out. And they know it. All right. So y'all take that with you this weekend. It's gonna be sunny at least one day this weekend. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna enjoy this life, people. We're gonna enjoy this life. We out here with these devils, but it's some angels out here. We just act like we don't want to be with one of them. It's angels out here. We don't even want to be with them. We don't even want to be with. We ain't even attracted to the good people. It's like if they ain't got some, you know, I kind of, you
It's
know,
crossing paths.
they look
A
out,
lot of
but they ain't got that little, you know, that craziness with them. You know, just like, you know, somebody want to fight you when they come home every day. They ain't got that crazy part with them. That's how we look, man, out here picking a mate. You know, like they got to be crazy. They got to be showing up crazy in order for us to want to take it home. I got one. This it right here.
it's crossing paths with the good ones. It's hard. Like sometimes you work a lot, you do this and do that. The narcs find you supernaturally. They just fly to you. Like,
and the narc go find you. The narc see you, and they preying on you.
Yeah.
They preying on you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Have a good, wonderful weekend. We're gonna see y'all next week, and China gonna be our new celebrity up in here next week. We're gonna be office, and we're gonna be, you know, we're gonna do what it does. There it is. All right. We're gonna be like we came up in here with nothing but love, peace, and
so
train.
Bye, guys.
bye, everybody. Bye.
Yes, indeed. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Right. All right. All right.